Hello, everyone. It is Technique Tuesday today, and today is Tuesday, where's the date? The 13th of January. All right, into the new year. I know it's just happened, it just had a new year. What I always find is that, don't you find this, that you get into the new year and you think, yeah, it's the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden you realize it's not the beginning of the year. And it's like you seem to jump from the beginning of the year to like three quarters of the way through, like nearly towards the end. I don't know what happens in the middle. I really don't. How is everyone going? I know, so many people waiting. I can't keep up all the highs either, Jen. I can't. So please, I'm putting in my apologies now to say sorry for not saying hello to everyone, but I do see we have a really great crowd here, and it's lovely to have you all here. Welcome. So wherever you're from, if you haven't met everyone here, this is such a great group. This is a beautiful little community of crafters. We all share together and create together, but also, it's just a community where people find little friendships, and it's awesome. So if you've never said hello, please say hello and know you will be welcomed. Um, all our crafty friends are here today. Well, lots of them anyway. And if you're watching on a replay, you're also welcome. I'm just having a little look here. Have I missed any questions or comments so far? It's probably a little bit early for questions and comments, isn't it? So on my video that I did for my team, which was yesterday, I do a team live every Monday morning, and I got to show my new baby yesterday. She's not here right now. She's taken off somewhere. But if she shows up, I will certainly introduce you and put her up in front of the camera so you can say hi. Her name, we've given her a name, guys. We've actually named her as of last night. So this is new news to pretty much everyone, and her name is Freya. So we got it down to a short list of three, and then two, and are the boys friends with her yet? I don't know if I'll say friends yet, but they want to be. You can see, like, Crumpet's really curious. He keeps sniffing at her, and she's not hissing at him all the time now. So that seemed to be only a 24-hour thing, and then they've not been hissing at each other. So they actually all ate together. Like, the boys eat right next to each other, and then Freya was probably a couple of feet away, like probably 3 or 4 feet away. You like the name? That's good. It was my husband's final choice because last time me and the kids chose Crumpet, and my husband wasn't that happy about Crumpet, but I think he agrees now. Crumpet suits him. Now that we all know him so well, but this time I said to my husband, "You get final say this time." So I got it. We got it down to two or three names that I was completely happy with any of them. Um, we had it down to Pixie. Pixie was one. She looks like a pixie now, but I said to him, I don't know that Pixie's going to suit her when she's a grown cat. So we abandoned that one and we got it down to Maxie. I liked Maisie, then we know someone who goes by that name, so we decided not to go with Maisie, and we went with Freya instead. So he chose out of Maxie and Freya. He chose Freya. I'm glad you like the name. I like it too. I think it's great. All right. So yeah, so lots of sniffing going on, and they're following her around. Merlot, not so much. He watches, and he has tried to play with her a couple of times, but she's a bit intimidated by his size, I think, because he's such a big cat. And then Crumpet is just sniffing, 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 and following her around everywhere. So yeah, I think Crumpet and she are going to become friends first, and then Merlot will probably start mothering her. So yeah, exactly. Well, I think because of it's a Norse mythology name, Freya, and I don't know, when I looked it up, something I didn't know about is she, in mythology, she rides a chariot that is pulled by cats. So she always has cats around her, and I thought, well, that's kind of nice. So we looked up all the meanings and all that kind of stuff. So that was why we chose it in the end. Well, Paul chose it. All right. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to switch over to the desk. Today, we're going to play with this. All right. And I want to show you the difference between this and where is it? And this. Okay, so we already have this one. This is the Extraordinary Flora washi tape that we've had in our annual catalogue for since that came out back in May. And this has, I have done a video on this before. I looked it up. It was the 17th of June. You can go back and watch that one. That gives lots of tips and ideas for how to use this specific washi tape. And then this one's a bit different. So I'm going to show you how they're different. Can I post a photo? Yeah, I absolutely will. Are you on my newsletter list? That's a great point. Let me put up on the screen. This is my blog address, lookwhatimade.com.au. And if you want to be on my newsletter list, you need to head over there and put your email in the sign up details to get the newsletter. And I usually send a newsletter every Tuesday. That hasn't happened yet today, and today is Tuesday. I'm hoping I'll have it out later today, tonight maybe. If worst comes to worst, maybe tomorrow. But the reason why is because I'm so distracted at the moment because and we're not getting as much sleep because, of course, she's, wanting to be up all night. She's still learning what the sleep pattern is all about. So we will get there, but I'm a little bit behind at the moment. I have not yet done a newsletter this week. So head over there and yes, I will definitely post a photograph in the newsletter list, in the newsletter. However, if you're in Australia, you can also be part of my Facebook group, which is this one, Linda Dolke's private Stampin' VIP group. And that one's just for Australians. I did post some photos of her in that group a couple of days ago. So I'll post more photos. I think it's probably been 48 hours or something. So I probably need to post another one to keep everyone happy. And so if you're not in that group, go and request to join. You'll get to see photos. I do have plans to do a giveaway at some point very soon in that group. So if you want to be part of that group and you're in Australia, please join. That's where I get to talk to everybody a little bit more often. On my Facebook page, it's like daily, well, not every day, but most days I'm posting projects, and the VIP group is a bit more chat. All right, so let's take that down. Did everyone get that okay? All right, so let me switch over to the desk and make sure that this is not very straight. That's better. Got cords everywhere. Let me see if I can get those out of the way. There we go, that's better. All right, so this is our new mini catalogue, okay? So currently we have two catalogues. We have this one, all right, which is the annual catalogue. You can see it's quite beefy. It comes out in May and goes through until April this year. It'll actually be, let me have a look at the date on the back. The date is always on the back here, if ever you're wondering what the actual date is. So the actual sales period, even though it says to April, the end of this sales period on this catalogue will be the 4th of May. Okay, and then on the 5th of May, we'll have a whole new one. And I always get excited. I wonder what that will be like. We'll find out. We demonstrators will find out in March. We have our on-stage event in Sydney, which is a big Stampin' Up event. We get to see the new catalogues. We get our own first copy of the catalogues. We get to see new products. We get to hang out together with other demonstrators. It's just the best few days, and it goes for 3 days. This next one is going to be in Sydney. So that's exciting for me because I have more of my team attend when it's in Sydney because I have more team members on the East Coast than anywhere else. All right, let me just see. Have I missed any comments? Just having a little look. Oh, you have a friend with a granddaughter with that name. Really, Margaret? I don't think I know anybody with. And Sue said that's the name of her granddaughter. Well, maybe it's becoming a more popular name, but I've never met anyone by that name, and I think it's really pretty. And I thought to myself, well, she's a very pretty little pussycat, so yeah, it's a pretty name for a pretty girl. All right, so this one here, if you turn to, I put a marker in, page 84, you can see this is the Extraordinary Flora stuff, okay? Yes, we do know Susan will have her new set in the next annual catalogue. It's very exciting. And that's, to me, that's reason to get along to Stampin' Up's on-stage event. So I'm looking forward to seeing that set up close and personal. So this one is called Extraordinary Flora. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this because I mostly want to talk about the new one, but I'll just show you. This is different to the one that has just been released. And the main difference is that we have a stamp set. which we also have for the Greenery Lane. We have a die. Now it says one die in here. That means this die cuts out all of these images. So you can see it's a big stamp. You see, this is one great big stamp, right? And you can put it on a big block F, and then cut it out with one die. So in the die packaging, there's just the one die, all right? And you can see that let's see this way, it perfectly matches the stamps, all right? So it's very clever the way they've done that. You can cut them all out at once. And there are some advantages to having one die. Like you can just one pass and you've got all these different shapes you can then make a card with. It's a lot of fun. I love that. The new one is a bit different, and I'll show you that in a second. All right, so these, and then we have some greetings in here. So those go together because that die also cuts out this image, and it cuts out the washi as well. And I don't actually have it. This is actually a brand new unopened one. I'm not going to open it for this because we're mostly doing the other one, but I have got a couple left over from classes that I have already. I put the washi tape onto a piece of white, basic white, and then I ran it through, and then I've got this piece that has all these pieces pre-cut. Okay, you can see a couple of them have fallen out here, but those can then be stuck on and used on a card. Okay, so, and it's kind of cool. I have a lot of samples from cards I've done in the past with these. So this is the washi tape that I then cut out with the letters. This was letters that I decorated with some of the washi tape pieces. This one we did, this was a craft along actually. We have these little pieces here. This one is actually on, that one looks like vellum, but it's not. It's actually on window sheet. And then these two are on basic white. And you can see I decorated the words inside on this one as well to make a birthday hug card. So that was a bit of fun that I did on a craft along a few months ago. This one just has some, so you can see that once you've cut them out, they're really, really easy to decorate with. Yeah. So I'm just using them in different ways to, this is actually not the washi tape. That's the stamp, just one big stamp, and used it as a front panel for that card. More little flowers. And here we have, this one is just a little embellishment on this one, which I think turned out really nice. And this one is the stamp, but also I used the washi tape here on some, that's actually on window sheet. So I have used it quite a lot. This has been a super, super useful thing. Then we get to the one that is in the new catalogue. So let's pull that out. And it is called Greenery Lane. Here it is. The Greenery Lane bundle is the stamps and the dies. I made the mistake when I bought, hey Helen, I made the mistake when I bought the Extraordinary Flora dies. I just assumed when I bought the bundle that the washi tape was included, and that is not correct. So the bundle is the stamps and the dies, and if you want the washi to go with it, then this is a separate purchase. It's $27 for the washi tape. Okay, so the bundle it's $86.25, and that gets you all of these 15 stamps and then these matching dies. And then if you want the washi tape, that is $27. Now you could just use the washi tape by itself. You don't have to have the bundle to go with it, but they do complement each other. And I think that's the thing with a lot of Stampin' Up! Product, is that a lot of the products are made to complement each other. It doesn't mean you have to have every single thing in the suite or everything in the the grouping of products. It just means that you have lots of options, and it's up to you to decide which ones work best for you. Now, I did do a card with the Greenery Lane washi tape on Friday evening, and I'm just going to pull that out. That was this one. Okay. And I also, this is another one, similar but a bit different. This one I've actually embossed this side with the Stone and Vine embossing folder, which is probably my new favorite embossing folder right now. I go through stages, but right now this is probably the one I like the best. And then this is just a panel. And I want to show you how I did that. So the reason that this is different to the Extraordinary Flora one is that the dies are not all one die. They are separate dies. Now that has obviously pros and cons. So on one hand, it's great because it means that you can just cut the bits that you want to cut. So you can be quite specific. So here are the dies, here are the stamps. So you can see the stamps, but there's some nice greetings in here. We've got a love and hugs, a here for you, a wishing you well, and a thank you, 4 greetings, and then the other shapes. Now, these are also 2-step stamps, okay? So what's really great about that is I've got these 2 here, which shows better on here, the line drawing, and then you can colour in the leaves with this one. So you stamp this one first and this one, or you could go the other way around. It doesn't really matter. These 2 go together, these 2 go together, and these 2 go together. This one is standalone, and these little flowers are standalone as well. So you've got some good options there. This set gives you a lot of options, and I think that that's what's important. Okay, now this is also, if anyone's wondering, this is the new packaging. Look how thin it is. I've actually got sitting on my shelf behind me. I was using 4 cubes. And over the last couple of months, I've gone, because with some last chance stuff and also using the new packaging, and I've still got my old packaging in there as well, I'm now only using 2 cubes instead of 4. So I've literally halved my space. So these are the matching dies, and you can see the ones that are like a frame, they are called framelets. And the ones that are like a frame, all of these, in fact, except this one, all of them are going to cut out images from here. Okay, this one is standalone. It doesn't actually cut out a specific stamp. It's its own die. It just does its own thing. And so I used that one on, what happened to the card literally that I literally just had? Not this one, not that one. It's the other one. Did I drop it on the floor? Maybe. Seriously, is it right in front of me? Can someone see it? Didn't I just show you the other card? I did. The one with the embossing on it. Oh, I don't know. Is it hiding somewhere? Whatever. Okay. It's floating around and I don't know where I put it. Doesn't matter. You like the old packaging. You know what? A lot of people like the old packaging, and it's going to take a little while for people to get used to it. And some people might never get used to it. So you have options there too. If you really love the old style packaging, you can still buy the old style DVD cases. We still sell them, and then you can transfer stuff into those if you want to. So that's a possibility. I put it on the left, you think? Ah, really? Oh, I put it back in the, there, I found it. I put it back in the box that it came out of. So this is, can you see that I've used that standalone die back here, and then put a piece of washi tape that I cut out over the top here. All right, so let's talk about how we apply the washi tape before we do anything else. I think that that's probably a very good idea. I'm going to start with a piece of, this is a piece of paper. Now I have actually measured this to size. This is just basic white, okay, and it is 9 centimeters wide. If you have a look here, you'll see that it is almost the same size as the width of the washi tape. All right, so I have measured that ahead of time. And then I've made it, because this is 9 centimeters, I've made this 13.3 long, and then that's going to fit exactly on the front of a card. So let's talk about how we do this. It's actually really easy to get the corners off. If you're not able to pick up the corners, if you can't do it, grab yourself a pokey tool of some description. Let me see if I got one handy. I'm sure I do. Let's just use that one. And you could always just use it and push that back with your pokey tool. Okay, so you can find something sharp and do that. Okay, but you don't need to. You can literally just peel it back with your fingernail usually. All right, now I'm going to stand up to do this. I find the easiest way, I pull out as much as I think I'm going to need, and I line up. If my voice sounds different, it's because I'm directly above it. I line up. Now I'm just putting down one side. Now, if you get wrinkles, can you see I have wrinkles straight away? All right. What you can do is peel it back. Washi tape isn't like sticky tape, and you're not going to rip the surface of your paper off. You're just going to, and to be honest, I think it's harder working with a piece that you've cut to size. So I'm just wanting to smooth it down with my finger on one side here. All right. I think it's easier to leave it on the roll. That's up to you. You could cut off as much as you need, but I think that that can be difficult. And I'm just pulling it back from the other side. The nice thing about washi is it goes, you can pull it back without losing any stick. Okay, just until we get back to where the wrinkles are. My wrinkles was right in the middle. And then I'm just going to run my finger over it again. And I'm going to push it out. And it's not hard to do. Okay, it actually comes off really, really easy. Washi has always been very forgiving. And then I'm going to push that back. All right, and so now I have a whole piece that is on here. Now, if you have any little wrinkles, can you see there's a couple of little wrinkles there? You can either get them with your fingernail, or let me just cut off the excess. I'm actually going to cut it a little bit longer. Someone did say to me the other day that they had, or I read somewhere that that they'd had an experience where it peeled off. I haven't had that happen to me at all. And I don't know why that is, but I'm wondering if one reason is because I usually fold my washi tape over the end of my paper. So that's why if I'm going to cut my paper to size, I make sure I cut the length to size and then I fold it over the edge of the paper. It's certainly not going to come up doing that. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Fold that over. Like that. All right, so then when you've got to this point, you can do a couple of things. You can grab a bone folder, or I'll tell you what else is really good. A credit card or a gift card. I'm just going to see if I've got one handy. I usually have gift cards floating around, random gift cards in my drawer. Here you go. Here's a gift card. What is that one? Cotton on Perks. There we go. And this is actually very handy. You can get rid of any wrinkles by just pushing them out with something flat, like a credit card or just anything flat. You could get certain amount of, do use a bone folder as well. And so we now have we have 0 wrinkles, right? Yes, you could go the other way, lay your paper down on top, but I have found I still get some wrinkles if I do that. So, but I find it is a little trickier doing it like this because it means that you really have to stay very, very close to the edge of your paper. Whereas if you were to do it this way, let me have a look here. All right, just say I want my paper to be 9.5 high. This is the alternate way to do it. Okay, so this is what I did for these ones. They are 9.5 high. Okay, and if I put this, hopefully you'll see that this is usually easier. And then I'm just going to lift it, push out the wrinkles. That's a little bit more wrinkle there. That's okay. All right. Same again. Now you could cut it flush, but that's up to you. But I just think that sometimes folding it over just it makes it neat, and it also ensures it's never going to lift by having it folded over. This way and that way. See, that one was much easier that time. All right, so now I've got a little bit here. I could either cut that down and use that panel like it is, or the other thing I could do is and this is what I did on this one, okay? I had a longer piece and I embossed that piece there. So I got let me get my folder. This is the Stone and Vine folder that I love so much, okay? I literally put this in and I put the edge of it right there where the washi tape ends. Like that. I was thinking you could probably use washi tape. You could actually emboss over the top of the washi tape. I hadn't thought to do that, but you could. That would give it an interesting texture. Do we want to try that? Let's see how that looks. I'm just wondering how it's going to look. And I'm going to do it this way. So this is Stone and Vine, this embossing folder. It is gorgeous. It is also from this catalogue. And it's super, super deep. It's a really super deep 3D folder here on page 69, right up the back. Okay, so it's Stone and Vine 3D folder, and $17.50 here in Australia, but it's super, super deep. All right, I'm going to try that. I'm just going to run it through. When you use a folder like this, a 3D folder, you do need to use the 3D specialty plate, which means you don't use any clear plates. You just use the base plate and the specialty plate with your folder. All right, let's see how this looks with the washi. And look, it's giving it that beautiful, interesting texture, isn't it? Right, so that's just something, that's just to show you something a little bit different. But now I've got this piece that I've already prepared earlier, the ones that we did, the one we did before. And if I wanted to cut out some of the shapes off here, I would now bring in my dies. So if I was doing the extraordinary floral, I'd have one die to cut the whole lot. You might not want all of these. You might only want some of them. So in the case of this one, I just cut out 3 and then added them back in so they look 3D. Okay, that's what I did on Friday. Now, this one here is going to cut that out. And so you can cut them all out if you want to, or you can just cut out a couple, which I think is kind of nice. I'm deciding whether I cut these 3 out that are the same or whether I cut 3 out that are different. What do you guys think? Which way should we go? It does look good embossed. I know. I didn't think to do that until just now. Now, the colours in this, I did ask this question. I was talking to Miss Susan before and I said, what are those colours again? It says the colours in here. Oh, it say on the, it says on the website. It doesn't say in the catalogue, but it's meant to be Lost Lagoon, which is this greeny blue, and garden green are the 2 colours that are in this. And I think it's only 2 colours, but I did mine, as you can see, with Cloud Cover and Secret Sea, and they looked really good. I think it brought out those blues as well, and that one also Cloud Cover and Secret Sea. So I've done a Secret Sea for the ink and the ribbon, and also a border, and then I use Cloud Cover for my base because I think Cloud Cover goes quite nicely with this light Lost Lagoon. So, all right, I'm just going to double check the website. It's called Greenery Lane. So let's just see if it tells me in the store. Okay, the Greenery Lane washi tape. I'm just looking at the details. So if ever you need to see, okay, colours, Garden Green and Lost Lagoon, that is correct. Okay, so you could certainly use other colours with this, but they are the 2 colours that it suggests that you might want to use. Okay, those are the 2 colours they are saying are in the paper. So I'm actually going to go back to this one and I'm going to cut a couple of these. So just chat amongst yourselves while I quickly cut these out. So I'm cutting out a garden green leaf first. And I noticed that they've used a couple of different, like a light Lost Lagoon and a darker Lost Lagoon. So I guess they're just using different tones of the same colour. And I'm thinking I'm going to make a portrait card with this panel, because I think that would be nice. So I've got 2 leaves cut out and then a 3rd on the last one. The other colour that looks really good with these is Pretty Peacock, because Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon are like a match made in heaven. So I'm thinking that we might be able to play with some Pretty Peacock. Might look really good. All right, so I've got this panel, and then I've got these pieces that can go back in, similar to the other card that I did on Friday night. Let's pull in some Pretty Peacock, because I think Pretty Peacock will look really, really nice with these colours. Let me grab some off my scrap, out of my scrap box. See, this colour will go really nicely. So let's go with this. So even though Pretty Peacock and Secret Sea and Cloud Cover are not in this this selection, I would still use them. All right, so you can see we've got the right piece on there. I'm wondering whether, and then if we put these, this one goes down the bottom, and this one will go over here, and this one's going to go in here, but we're going to pop them up on dimensionals so they stand out. I don't think that makes you old, Nicole. That makes you human. All right, so I'm going to use my... Oh, and here's a side note. Can I just tell you, these make fantastic Tombow holders. Look at that. They're exactly the right size to keep your Tombow on your desk. So if you've got an opened, you can't do it until you open it because you've got your packaging on here. But yeah, if you're looking for a place to put your Tombow and you don't have a Tombow holder, that makes a really great Tombow holder. So there you go. There's a good tip for you. Now, somebody did say, I was in a group the other day and they were saying that the thing they had noticed when using the washi tape was that it was a little bit difficult to keep them in place. Now, if you're only doing 1 or 2 dies, but if you're using several dies, keeping them in place when you're putting it through the cut and emboss machine can be a little challenge. And normally we would use, and some of you know the Post-it note holder trick, that, you know, when you're putting through a die and you're putting it through and you don't want it to move, so you hold it down with a Post-it note. But the Post-it notes don't stick to the washi tape, all right? So not very well anyway. I mean, they kind of stick, but hardly at all. So someone was asking, you know, what do you do if you can't use Post-it notes? And I would say just cut a tiny bit of washi tape off, because washi tape holds the washi tape great. All right, so if you're wanting to, you know, just take a corner of it off or a little strip of it off, you can rip it by hand if you want to, and use that to hold your die in place when you're putting it through your machine. Okay, so that's what I would do anyway. All right, so now I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals behind here. You find some dimensionals and add a couple of those. Just 2. And you don't have to put them back in the same holes if you don't want to. Now you can put them straight in, or you can offset them slightly so you see them stand out a little bit more. And I think that's a nice look. This one next. So one down here. Someone is squeaking. I see I'm going to have a visitor. So you might get to see Miss Freya in a moment. She's very opinionated. Very. Oh, and here's another tip. When you're doing it slightly offset, so I'm offsetting it ever so slightly to the right so we can see a little bit more of the gap around it, okay? Make sure if you do the first one slightly to the right, make sure they're all the same way. Don't do some to the right and some to the left. You want them all to be the same way. It just makes it look a little bit more purposeful, if you like. Looks better. There you go. I have found that the washi tape works really well, personally. I'm looking. Nicole, you're funny. Did we see Cherie? Have I seen Cherie today? I don't think I have. All right, so that's how that's looking. It's looking really nice, isn't it? Now we can put a greeting on this, use a die or a punch or whatever we like. I'm just going to put this back in here so I don't lose it. And the other thing I do before I put them away is I count to make sure I've got all my dies. I don't put them back on my shelf until I know I have the right amount of dies in there. So yeah, you could buy or use cheap washi tape from another source to hold the dies in place. That would also work. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 and the packet says I should have 10. So perfect. I can put them away. Actually, I don't know if I want to put them away. I may use one more yet. All right. So we've got our piece on. It looks really, really good. And I'm deciding, do I want to put this on a cloud cover background? See what I mean about cloud cover looking quite good with this, even though it's more of a grey blue. Lost Lagoon is a bit darker. Let me show you the difference. Here's Lost Lagoon. So that's Lost Lagoon. They're quite different. Well, this is one that has been on the floor, so it's a bit messed up. Just don't pay any attention to that, but you can see a huge difference between these two colours. This is more, like I said, a grey blue. This has got a lot more green to it. So, so do we want this on here or do we want it on the cloud cover? Which way shall we go? I've got a cloud cover one already cut, so I can do that. I also now have a Lost Lagoon one cut. You like the cloud cover? I do too, even though it's not in the washi. I like it as well. All right, let's do cloud cover. I think it's just a bit softer or something. Don't you think? All right, let's see. Now, if ever you're looking for inspiration on your creations and you're not sure where to look, check the catalogue first, or even the online store, because the online store also has a whole bunch of different samples made with whatever product it is that you're using. So I always feel like that's a good way to go. And sometimes if I'm not sure myself what to do or what I might just borrow an idea from the online store. I look at it. I don't usually copy it exactly, but you can. There's nothing to say you can't. Just need to push that one down. All right. And I'm thinking, do we want, what shape will I go with? Maybe a circle? Maybe we've got a couple of greetings here. We've got here for you and love and hugs. Oh, and we could also use a greeting from here. We could go, hello, thank you. So this is, for anyone who hasn't seen it, this is the Fabulous Sayings stamp set. This is our product of the month. And how product of the month works, when you spend $125 in one order during the month of January, you can, if you want to, choose to add this to your order for only $9. So product of the month, that is always the case. Spend $125 and then you can choose the product of the month, whatever it is that month, for $9. So it's a good deal for people who are going to spend that $125 anyway. You're going to get a very, very good value stamp set, which I think is fantastic. I know, Birdie Beetles were always from the Royal Easter Show, right? And I'm wondering which way to go, whether I want to have, I did have a Pretty Peacock glimmer paper, but I think we don't have that anymore. We do still have Secret Sea. I used it on Friday night. Some of you saw it in our sketch on Friday night. I did this card on Friday night, which was a masculine card, and I used this Secret Sea glitter behind here. Doesn't that look good? I love how that turned out. And it's one of those cards that you can see both sides of the cards of the DSP. Super nice. But I could do this. It would still go, although we don't have any Secret C anywhere else. I could do my stamping in Secret C. So lots of options. Too close to tea time. Yeah, what time is it? It's heading on towards 5 o'clock over there, right, Sheila? You're 2 hours in front, is that right? I think so. A birdie beetle chocolate. Sounds yum. All right, I'm going to do a 2-inch circle because I want to use glitter, and we don't have any pretty peacock at the moment, but I'm wondering if this would look okay. I think it will look all right, and I can actually put that behind there, and I'm going to use a piece of white. Let me see what white I've got. Here's some, and I'm going to use, these are all quite big. I want a small greeting, so I'm going to use the hello from the Fabulous Sayings. And you're wondering, how do you get all this stuff? That address that I put up on the screen before, the lookwhatimade.com.au address, and I'll do it one more time so you can see it, is also where you can go shopping. Okay, you can go shopping for product on right there on that address. And you do need to be in Australia to shop with me. There's the hello. It's a good size. So let me put that on a block. Just a little block. B or C would be fine. Here we go. And because I'm using the glitter in Secret C, I'm going to use, and we did, the card I just showed you guys, the one with the, where is it? This one. I combined Secret C and Pretty Peacock together, and I haven't really done much of that in the past. And I actually decided they look really good together. I hadn't thought about that before. So yeah. All right, let me stamp with this. Actually, do I want to do? Yeah, I will. You could also use Pretty Peacock ink as well, of course. And I'm going to do the old 1 3/4 inch punch. I'm not even sure if we still have this one. We might not. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock around the edge of this. And then I'm going to pop it on. What did I just do? There it is. There it is. Stop looking. We're going to use a couple of dimensionals. And we're going to pop that right there. Actually, I'm going to have that in front. Okay, so I'm going to put that flat. And of course, I don't have to put these back into the card. I could have, if I wanted to, just cut pieces out of the washi and use them on a card. There you go. So there's one card. How do we go? How are we going for time? Yeah, I've got time to make one more. Shall we make one more? And I'll make it a quick one. Everyone knows when I say that I'm not very good at making really quick cards. Leslie, that's so funny. Yeah, it's an Australian thing, I think. So do birdie beetles exist anywhere else? So they are basically chocolate with like rice bubbles in them, aren't they? Is it rice bubbles? What you guys call Rice Krispies in the US. Yeah, it turned out pretty nice. And if you wanted to add a ribbon or something like that, you could add some twine. Or we also have that lovely Secret C, this ribbon, this one here, which is really nice, that Secret C ribbon. And that would go quite nicely with this. That Secret C ribbon is part of the Nature Walk suite. And it's super, super nice. So if I'm going to make another card, I better get my act together and do it quickly. Because I try and keep these Technique Tuesday videos to an hour. If I spend half an hour trying to tie a bow, that would be bad. I don't know where Miss Freya went. She was here, but then she's not. She was playing with some bubble wrap and now she's taken off again somewhere. So like a little ribbon like that. It's really nice and easy to tie this ribbon. Yes, please, to another card. Whoa, I just completely messed up the camera. Let's get that back to where it was. All right. I have another idea for a card, so let's just do it. All right. So we have, just thinking all the colors that we have. You could really, you can go very simple with this, or you can go a little bit more involved. I'm going to go pretty simple with this card. Let's put that on though. At the moment, it's floating around my desk and I'll lose it. You know I will. There we go. And then move that one out of the way for the moment. I am going to start. I am going to go pretty simple. I'm going to go nine by 13.3. And this is going to end up running through that lovely embossing folder. I'm going to do this again because I cannot get enough of this folder. And I know a few other people have told me the same thing. I think it's just so nice. All right, so I'm going to run that through my cut and emboss machine. And then we've got a nice white panel. Oh, it's so good. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't it lovely? So nice. All right. And I'm thinking maybe this time, because I didn't use it last time, I will use the Lost Lagoon. Actually, I'm going to go, this is going to be Lost Lagoon. Oh, do I want this or the Pretty Peacock? I've already got a piece almost cut to the right size, so I'm going to go Pretty Peacock. So 10 centimetres wide by 14.3, which is your card front size here in metric land, or anywhere where they do metric. This one's going to end up here. And you can see I went down by a full centimetre on each side rather than half a centimetre like I normally do. And I'm going to make this one, will this be a landscape card? I think it will. This is going to be a landscape card. Okay. So I'm going to use Tombow. I find Tombow works really, really well with an embossed surface because it gets into the grooves and it sticks quite well. Let's put that right here. I want to get it really lined up. That's going to take me to, that's probably the longest part of the whole card, is getting it lined up properly. Looking good. I should have stood up and got over it. That's what I should have done, but that's all right. It's going to be fine, just like that. Now, I do want to use some kind of label die, and we have a lot of different label dies available right now. One of my favorite new ones, though, let me find it. Oh, and I've forgotten the name of it. It's part of the Lovely and Beautiful suite, but what's the name of the bundle? What's the name of the one with the nesting dies? It's at the front here. It is this one, Beautifully Celebrated. So it'll be under B. So then I can find it. There we go. So it's these. Simple? Yeah, we like simple. Oh, does Nestle still make those? Huh. My girlfriend used to work for Nestle. And that's where she had to go every day, was out to Rhodes. So yeah, I'm thinking that size might be good. What do we want to say on our, we can use, like this is a little bit bigger. You're on my mind. That's nice. You can do anything. That's nice. We even have a happy birthday. Oh, is it going to be big enough or would I need to go up a size? Might need to, for a happy birthday, I would need to go up a size. But you're on my mind would fit. So these are the fabulous sayings. Or if we were going to do the ones from, we have a here for you and we have a love and hugs. Either of those would work as well. What do we think? Does anyone have, I know they're really nice dies, aren't they lovely? And so you've got all these different nested ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you've got some little leaves and photo corners, really, really pretty, really pretty. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with this size. Do I want to go with that size? And I just need to pick something that's not too, we could just go, I hear for you, says Leslie. Okay. That's this one here for you. Okay. Which means I'll stamp first and then we can decide which die will be the best size for the greeting. I think sometimes it's better to go that way rather than unless you're wanting to stick with a particular size and then find the greeting curve to match the size. But usually I think I'm using block C, which seems to work really well for that. And let's find, this will do. And what color? I will go, I'm going to go Pretty Peacock this time. And let's put that right there. So I've got plenty of room to move around it. It's nice, a nice font, isn't it? Isn't it a nice font? All right. So if we're doing this one, there's a lot of room around it. I could do that. Or I could go down one. So the question is, do I want to do that or do I want to do this? If I do this, we'll have more of the embossing folders showing. So, and then we're going to have a couple of sprigs around from our washi tape. So what do you think? The smaller one or the bigger? Oh, that sounds great, Donna. Fantastic. The smaller one, you think, Lorraine? All right. Let's try that then. And let me put this through the cut and emboss machine. My new cut and emboss machine, I've ordered a brand new one because this one is, I've trashed it. And I'm very excited about it because it's on its way. Hopefully it will come in the next day or two. Okay. All right. So this is how this is looking. So it's white on white, but we're going to break it up. It obviously needs something, and that's where our washi tape. Now, this is actually what I've got left over from what I cut out on Friday night. So I could actually cut a couple of these out, but there's only, I think I'm going to be better off. I'm going to be better off putting this onto a new piece. And in fact, just a scrap is going to be fine. Okay, but I will grab a piece of white. And if I don't use all this, you know, I can use as much of this as I like, but if I don't use it all, then, you know, I'm putting this on a longer piece so I can use some more cut out pieces later. A tiny little tiny little crease there. That's all right. I could get that out with a credit card like I showed you guys before. But all the rest of it has come down quite nicely. All right. So let's decide which bits we would like. I might actually go ahead and stick that on. Dimensionals are still here. Whoop. But I'm not going to put many dimensionals on because I may want to put things underneath. Like I might want to slide things underneath. Does that look straight? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, looking good. And then which bits will we want to have? Do we want to go with more green, more Lost Lagoon? Maybe a combination. Maybe one of these and one of these. And maybe one of these. The other thing I could do is I could cut with, say, some silver. I could cut one of these. Hang on, is that the dies? So that's the stamp set. The dies might still be over by the... No, here they are. Oh my gosh. How much mess can one person create, really? That's okay. You're doing well, Inika. I know it's very early, not a great time for you. All right, so you could cut this out of glitter paper. You could cut it out of silver, which is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to do a silver one. You can use whatever you have in your collection. Don't feel like you have to have something. Also, there's the stuff that looks like cloud cover glimmer paper that is from the Peaceful Garden set that we had in the last catalogue. That's still available. That's still current. So this is how that little one comes out. Looks good, doesn't it? And you could, if you wanted to, drop my trimmer. Great. Now, if I wanted to, I can slide this in and I could lift my dimensional, or what else you can do is you can cut it. So we can perform some stamp surgery, and I'm just going to so that could go under here. So it doesn't look like it's, you know what I mean? You can have it so it's popping out, and this one could pop out the other side if you want it. No, that doesn't look right. It looks like it's got reindeer ears. I don't like it. So I'm just going to leave it like that, I think. And then we'll cut one or two of these out. I know. Freya's going to want to be into the dies so crazy. Well, okay, I've told this story before. Some of you, I hope I didn't alarm anybody, the story of Crumpet and the ribbon that came out of an orifice that it shouldn't have come out of. He was very lucky it didn't get caught up in his intestines and he just popped it out the other end. But he's always loved ribbon. Oh my goodness, absolutely. But she hasn't found ribbon yet. She has not been exposed. But I can imagine she will be probably very, very similar. Washi leaves, I think so too. I agree. So let's have a look. I've got a garden green one here. Well, we've got a couple. We've got one here, and then we've also got this one here, which would look really good. And then maybe this green one here. So I can do a few, but I'm just going to run that through and we'll get those on. So it's actually this washi tape, because you can cut a whole bunch of these. I think this is a really good, easy way to use this washi tape Just create it. Use it to create cards that are very easy. Well, I think they're pretty easy. I mean, not having to add a lot of detail really. Also, in my other video that I did on the 17th of June last year, I also showed the difference between using the washi on white, like I'm doing right now, or the washi on window sheets or a darker color. There's a number of ways that you could do that. So if you wanted to have a look at the different ways, if you do it on window sheets, it ends up looking like vellum because the edges are clear, like vellum. It's sort of, yeah, you probably enjoy using it that way, I would think. Right, so I've got these. And we might just have some of the silver poking out, like, you know, here and there. And then maybe this one over here. And I could have a little bit of that popping out somewhere. Maybe. Or we could just have it all on one side. Do you know what I mean? So we could have just a little bit of this here. And then layer these up. So there's a bit of, they're coming out together. With maybe a bit of some twine or something attached at the bottom. But no, I'm looking at those and I'm thinking I don't like it as much. I'm going to put that right there. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. I'm thinking that one, that might be good there. What do we think? Do we like that? And put that in underneath. I'm going to whack a glue dot on that so it can slide in underneath. All on one side, Helen, do you think? I don't know. I'm feeling like it's not, it looks a little unbalanced all on one side. So I'm going to use a mini glue dot over here. And then we could jump in again with some twine or some, I mean, I've got this twine that's hanging around my desk today. We've got this one. Is this still current, this one? The white with the gold. Not sure. Oh, really, Donna? That's scary. Sorry to hear that. I'm going to make a small bow with this. You're right, just the one sprig on the left. Yeah, maybe. But this twine is quite nice. So that might be the go. And then I think some maybe, because it's got a bit of gold in it, this twine. So I'm thinking maybe some gold bling, probably. It is. Thanks, Tanya. Thank you. So like that. And then looking. We don't want gold because we've got silver here. So definitely no to the gold. I have got, what have we got that's pretty peacock? I've got the Moody Dots in cloud cover. Those would maybe look okay. I'm thinking some silver or some white would also look good. We've got just these, and we could colour them. Let's do that. Let's colour them. I'm over time, aren't I? I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Cherie. Hello. I don't think I'd seen you today. See, I was struggling without you. All right. So I'm thinking we can colour these to suit ourselves. One of the things that is awesome about like neutral coloured dots, these or these, actually these might be even better, is you can colour them whatever colour you want. So if you're wanting to do Lost Lagoon or Pretty Peacock gems, you could either use the vanilla ones or the white ones. Either one will look great. So I'm just going to colour them up. This is the lighter one. Maybe I'll use the darker. And your blends, being alcohol markers, they're permanent. So it's like hitting them with a Sharpie, actually. So you can make them whatever colour you want, as long as you've got the matching blend. So this only works with alcohol markers. It doesn't work with the other kind, but it's super cool. So I'm going to add a Pretty Peacock gem right down here. And then we have one here. Another one here. And then I'll put that on a white card base and call it a finished card. Do you know what the star of this show is? What looks really, really good? Recoloring with Sharpies. I know, right? But blends do just as good a job. I really, really like. I'm not happy. I will probably change this because I'm not happy that this has got gold in it and we've got silver back here. I would like to keep them the same. You don't have to. You can mix your metallics, but I personally don't like to do it on a card where it doesn't look like I've matched it up well. But I will put this on a basic white card base and I'll change this and that will look nice. Yeah, exactly, Helen. The embossing folder. That's the star of the show. That is what really is beautiful about that card. I mean, the washi tape is nice, but the embossing folder is divine. So there you go. We've got a couple of cards we've made today. These ones are left over from the other day, but I'll pull them out anyway, especially when the other card that I just made, I'm not sure where I put it. And that's just, here it is, found it. There it is. So there you go. There's a whole bunch of cards I've made with the washi tape now. Me too, Jen. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, our thoughts do go out to everyone affected by the fires in Victoria. Yeah, and flooding in North Queensland. What's going on with that? Australia does it again. One half of the country is on fire and the other half has got floods. We're kind of in the middle here, which watching both. The nested dies are really, really good, Judy. I know. And that embossing folder is just to die for. But my favourite card of all these ones, actually, I really like this one we made today. I think that actually worked out really well. That looks really good. I like the Secret Sea glimmer paper with that. And I love this one that I made the other day with the embossing piece on just the side. I think that turned out really nice. So yeah, we've got a few fun cards made with the washi tape, and it's not hard. It's actually very, very easy. So there we go. All right, you guys, I'm going to switch back to me. We didn't get to see Freya. Does anyone want me to quickly grab her before I finish up, or we save that for another time? Because I am over time. What do you think? Which embossing folder? It's called Stone and Vine, Inika. Oh, you're so welcome, Nicole. It's on page 69 of this here, okay, of this new catalogue. And it's called Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder. Here in Australia, it's $17.50. I don't know what it is over where you are, but it is $17.50 here. So, which is pretty much standard embossing folder price. Let's see Freya if she doesn't mind. Okay, let me see if I can grab her. The thing is, sometimes she hides, so give me a moment. I'm not sure where she is, you guys, and she's so tiny. She hides. Um, Here's the thing. I will find her. If you're in the VIP group, I'll put something up and show you her. Um, Otherwise, I'll have her with me on Friday night. How about that? So I'll be live again on Friday evening. So if you would like to see more of fun things that we get up to in our creative space here, then Friday will be the chance to check that out. And Friday night is sketch night. So we are moving on to the second sketch in the brand new catalogue. Email a picture. It'll be in the newsletter. When I do a newsletter, I'll have her in there. No worries at all, you guys. I'm so glad you could join me today. Sorry I went a little bit over time, but I hope you had fun. And I will see you all again very soon. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.